but like how you model yourself as a parent is how your children will be. And my kids, they know that we're not perfect, and they know that sometimes we're going to say sorry because we're going to do or say the wrong thing. And it's such a beautiful way to show them that it's okay to make mistakes. Life is life, and no one's perfect, you know? And I think this is very much a part of the communication and understanding you and your partner and where you're at and how you want to be as parent.
Perfect. With that said, I would say that we jump into a little bit of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I prepared a couple of mini games to just chat and take it a little bit easy. No pressure, just for fun.
Okay.
Some cultural comparisons. I don't take everything don't take it as it needs to be the perfect response. The first
Mm-hmm.
one that I created, it's called Rank the Countries on Parenting Edition. Let's say like this, and I grab some parenting categories, and I would like to know from your own experience, but also knowing that you probably have clients who are experts from all around the world. Where do you feel that country or region wise this is easier to be accomplished, let's say like this? So I will give you some categories or some scenarios, and you tell me if you think that there is any place in the world where you would put that. The first one, probably one of the biggest ones, is most child friendly environment.
Denmark.
Well, that was fast.
Yeah, no, they're allowed to
uh,
be kids. They're allowed to play and experiment from a very young age.
nice. uh, the other way around is easiest to adapt as a parent environment.
Hmm. Oof. I would say probably. Maybe I would say my guess would be India here, because you have a lot of support from your family. Families often live in close by, and this is a caveat, but also somewhat connected to what you said. Parents are expected to note everything when their child is born, which is hard if you think about it, but it's honestly, up until this current generation, not really questioned so much. And children don't defy that. They don't speak back. They don't, you know what I mean? So that's why I say it's hard to
Mm,
think about that. Like when I hear that you're expected to know everything, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. But if you understand the idea that most of them in the past didn't really push back because of that, like almost kind of like there's this deity there, you can see how it's actually easier to fit into that role versus the struggle that potentially could come from it. So, yeah, kind of
nice.
a mixed answer, but yeah.
All good, all good. That's exactly why I do these things. So it comes
Yeah.
answers that are not as easy as it will come with our conversation. And hardest school systems to figure out.
Mm. From my experience, I would say South Korea. Kids go to school from 8 in the morning to 3 p.m. Then after that, they go to extra school from 3 p.m. until dinner time, after dinner time, and they go to school on top of go to school on top of go to school. So their school systems are known to be really great, but they continue to go to school after because they want to do really well. So if you want to say the hardest school system to figure out, maybe the school system could be doing more, or helping to challenge them in different ways. I would question why we need to keep going to all these different schools. They call them hagwons, which are like tutoring
Mm,
centers. So yeah, I would say it's the hardest one to figure out because there's such a pressure there and demands for people to do better and really such pressure on kids. So yeah.
nice. Best work-life balance for the parents.
Mm. Spain? That would be
Okay.
my guess. Yeah. I think that, I mean, I come from the country of one of the worst work-life balances. So I think most European countries have a really great work-life balance. For example, Germany, parents are able to take time off in summertime and spend time with their kids. In Belgium, you're able to take parental leave in summertime with most organizations. But what I see in from a lot of people that I work with in Spain is that it almost is like life is a bit more relaxed. So there's not necessarily that pressure to have to take time off. Um, also say this with a caveat of not having lived there, and this is just
Mm,
through the experiences of clients and friends who live there. But that would be my first instinct.
nice. What about most family-friendly public spaces?
Nordics, parts of Germany, and I would say the Netherlands.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the last one of this one would be best healthcare for families.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Belgium. There's an amazing healthcare system there.
Okay,
The taxes are high to support that, but in the same essence, it's really, really well done.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So jumping to the second game that I will propose to you today, I call it rapid fire. And it's a bit of like trying to see where the wall is going based on your experience and based on who you talk with. So basically, I just give you two options, and you tell me if you believe that the world of parenting, or I mean, this is very difficult because I suppose everyone does what they can in very different ways, but if you see more of one or the other.
Okay.
Uh, the first one that I have, it's structure routines or go with the flow
Go with
parenting.
the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go with the flow.
Helicopter parenting or free range?
Free range,
Really?
for
Okay.
sure.
I
Yeah.
would say the opposite. Like, that's funny, but it's nice. I mean, like,
I
I,
think
I
if you
s-
control everything, you don't allow your child to be able to learn it on their own. And there's a whole entire idea called the growth mindset because kids, if people continue to do things for them, which is kind of what helicopter parenting is, right?
Mhm.
Then the children get frustrated, and instead of trying, they will go automatically to their parent or someone else to do it. And this frustration will grow, and that's a part of being a kid is having dealing with that frustration and trying to learn. So yeah, absolutely not helicopter parenting, in my opinion.
No, no, not that you should doing, but that the world is going that direction somehow. Like that the parents are behaving like it. I don't know. Huh?
Mm, I don't know. I would say that there are lots of the current generation, they're wanting to do things differently than they were parented. So I would say that things are changing.
Mm.
Um, and both of the questions that you asked, things are changing more in that direction. Would it be
Let's
like
see.
51-49?
Yeah, it would be a
Things
close call. No,
are
okay.
changing, but not that rapidly.
Cool. What about strict bedtimes or whenever they are tired?
For the large majority of the world, it's more strict bedtimes. If it's not summer, more strict bedtimes. Yeah.
Local schools or international schools?
For expats, or
In this case, yeah, I mean, it's your turf of expertise, I suppose, no?
I would say more local schools.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Very few expats have the capacity to afford international schools unless their organizations are paying for it.
Mm,
And if a family is looking to get the real experience of a place, a local school is better. And your children learn the language faster and they make friends with locals faster and you just fit in much faster. So the majority of people that I know, whether it's here in Brussels or the people that I work with, 70% send their kids to the local schools.
nice.
Yeah.
Co-sleeping or own room from day one?
Own room from day one. I would say that when the babies are really, really young, that they usually stay inside the room because they can smell mom, especially those first few months.
Mm,
But after, let's say, 6 months, most people put them into their own room. I don't know. I would say maybe 35 to 40% co-sleep. And for a lot of people, that just disrupts their sleep too much as parents, and it's not the easy feat. Yeah.
what about screen time? Being strict limits or flexibility?
Depends on the circumstance. What I'm seeing more these days is that screens are showing up with flexibility in the spaces in which kids are not allowed to be kids.
Mm.
That's really the best way to answer that. Um, but does everyone give their kids screens all the time with open possibility? No. So that's why I say it really depends.
Nice. And maybe the last one, academical pressure is normal to have it, or is it problematic? Of
To a certain extent, I think it's normal, with healthy way of encouraging. Um, so yeah, that would be my very short answer on that. I think this is cultural, and also has an element of family in it as well. Like I was saying before, South Korea, huge pressure for kids to perform, and that comes from their history of their country, from a lot of different things. So there are different factors here, but for me, I would say it's normal to have some pressure, and it's done in a healthy way.
nice. So, jumping to one of the last sections of the episode today and looking a little bit on the time, I asked the audience that I was going to interview you, so I shared your social media, a little bit of your profile, and I got one question from Nina Floa. I suppose I pronounced that properly. Uh, hopefully, butchering surnames, I suppose. What's the one cultural practice that you grabbed from abroad and kept in your parenting style?
What's the one cultural practice that I adapted from abroad and kept in my parenting style? Hmm.
If any.
Yeah. I'm sure there's something out there. I'm just trying to grasp it. Um, so I think the one that I grew up in a house in which things were very controlled. And one thing that I really love about a lot of Northern European countries is the idea that you allow children to try and to get messy and to really explore on their own. And I really love this idea. And there's an internal battle that happens inside of me sometimes when I see it happening. But at the same time, there's such childhood magic in those moments. And so if I can just be present with the uncomfortability while it's happening, it really is beautiful to see their excitement and the discovery and all of that. So yeah, that would be my first instinct to say.
Nice. I mean, I suppose it might be difficult because of this kind of. The parents are. I mean, it's. I think it's kind of natural, not that you're protective with your children.
Hmm.
It's part of our nature and animal nature. Actually, I would say, like even
Yeah.
from when you see animals treating their cubs like that. So yeah,
The thing is
it's
it becomes problematic when protecting kids is holding kids back from, for example, just getting dirty. Like they're not hurting themselves if they get dirty.
yeah,
I was not raised in that way, but like if you think about it, like the Nordic saying, like there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only such thing as bad clothes. That is a genius phrase. Genius. But if you approach a Southern European and you tell them to tell their kids to go jump in puddles, most of them would be like, no, I don't want my kid to get dirty. And so that's why I say like there's a caveat there, like when it becomes like safety or is it cleanliness? Like, is it the way in which we were raised, or is it really just allowing us to expand our capacity outside of what we're comfortable with? So, yeah.